autopsy of Myra Cornejo. You name the police that murdered her, and you indict them for murder. And stop killing our people.
I'm not sure if you were in here when I'm not sure if you were in the room when I introduced myself, but I'm Rod Cush. I'm the commanding officer at our homicide bureau, and it's our bureau that's responsible for investigating that particular incident. So our bureau not only investigates homicides that occur in county areas, we also investigate deputy-involved shootings and sometimes officer-involved shootings for other agencies. So it's anytime there's a police-involved shooting, it's tragic on so many different levels, with the families that are involved, with the employees that are involved, etc. The sheriff mentioned earlier.
Is that tragic? Put him in jail. When's the last time you put a sheriff in jail for murdering somebody?
The sheriff mentioned earlier about the number of people that come out.
Excuse me. Have a meeting. We are not here to bash. You're here to ask questions. Now, he answered to the best of his knowledge. Now, we have a problem. There is a problem. That's why we're having a meeting.
Excuse me, sir, I have a question.
Okay? That's why we have it.
Excuse me, sir, I have a question.
Well, if I can just finish here, I'll kind of explain something. So the sheriff mentioned earlier about the process that we go through. Another thing that occurs is our Internal Affairs Bureau comes out and oversees that internally as well. So in that particular case, when we are finished with the investigation, we complete a book that goes over to the district attorney's office. It's the Justice System Integrity Division, the division within the DA's office, whose sole responsibility is to rule on the legality of the shooting. So until that point, none of the documents that we put together, none of the information we put together is released to the public because it has the potential for harming the integrity of the case, harming witness statements, etc. So we'll put all that information together. It does go over to the Justice System Integrity Division. Now that process does take quite a long time.
If
But in
anybody
the end,
in here killed somebody, they would be arrested. Arrest those cops that killed her. And then do your investigation. Put them in jail. And then talk about an investigation. We're supposed to wait and wait and wait while you investigate. When do those cops go to jail?
in the end, when the district attorney issues its letter of opinion, that's the finality of the investigation as far as the criminal investigation.
And how many sheriffs have you put in jail?
It's not my bureau's responsibility to put them in jail. It's our responsibility
It's your
to.
responsibility to put every people like
Excuse me. But will you please let us continue our meeting? We're not going to solve all these problems right now. We're here to discuss it. Everybody done lost somebody.
I'm Minister Max Shorty. I'm the Vice Chair of the Watts Neighborhood Council. I apologize to you all. I'm a loved one of a homicide victim. I can understand how you feel, but in the end, if you really believe in what you believe in, you give them a chance and you got to hold them accountable. Shouting, well, if they pay you in the form of money, then you take it and you buy cameras for the city where you live. Right now today, I'm here because every single police officer that comes in general contact with any member of the public should have a body camera. I don't care if you get out of your car, you approach me and speak and say hello. The minute you come in contact with any citizen, you need to press the button and start recording. You want transparency? That's what we want. When you get out of the car and you approach us, we pay your salary and we deserve respect. The lady is not lying. You got a bunch of rude sheriff deputies here in Compton, and I don't live here, but I come here quite frequently. This one back here, I confronted before because I didn't like the way he was speaking to somebody when I was picking up my kids down at a Fridays. And I politely rolled my window down and let him know, as an elected official, don't you ever address anybody in custody or out of custody the way they did. They try to say time after time the problems they have down at the Friday is the way they treat people like that. No, you treat people like that because you just don't give a damn. But I, as an elected official, will not stand for any officer to disrespect any member of the public. And I commanded You know, he said, okay, I understand, we'll address it a different way. But like they said, all we want, I don't want to call your 1-800 number. The sheriff department got too much money. You need to get an app. Get a smartphone app. I'm not weak tipping there because those people that we tip, they might be weak tipping. I don't know who the Crips and the Bloods are working for. I don't know what murderer, a killer, a rapist, mama that works down there at 1-800 we tip. My life is too important. My own mother's murderer still roams the streets. So, you know, I don't trust no we tip. I don't trust no police departments. I love working with you guys. I know your work. We elected you because we know what you're going to do. You're going to bring transparency to this department and trust me. What can we do as citizens to help you? Because I told the president, give you every dime you need so every single officer can have a body camera. And if you need all of us to write letters to the president to make sure that's what we want our money spent on. Just not disrespect. Don't disrespect us because after a while we're going to become confrontational. This is not Ferguson. We are decent people. We have came a long way. We want decency and respect and we're going to command it. I shouldn't have to call Inspector General office to get that because that's just another office. Who you going to get another same simple answer? We'll try and help you as much as we can. But there's no help coming. Help comes in the form of officers knowing when they get out that car, they got to turn that camera on. And they never know who's watching. Just give us the respect. That's all we want. I'm sorry for y'all loss, but let it play out in the court system.
We know how that plays out.
Well, you don't know. Because if you knew, you would give it a chance.
Eric Gardner would. Eric Gardner was.
Thank you. If I could just, sir, thank you for your comments, and we appreciate your partnership. Let me talk to the camera piece a little bit. The cameras we have a pilot program going on now that started the 1st of September, and it'll finish up in a month, the 1st of March. We looked at 4 different platforms to see which one would be best for our purposes, and we have that in the testing now. They'll report out in a month, and we'll have a better idea. When we look at the infrastructure of the camera, the hardware that you buy is the smallest part of the cost. The ability then, as you're well aware, to be able to catalog and retrieve that information so that when it goes to court, it's available for discovery, for prosecution both, and to have the infrastructure then to be able to provide that is the more expensive part of it. But it is something that is becoming a best practice recognized across America, and it is the future of policing. Right now, when the deputies go in the field, they've got to assume that they're on camera because everybody has a cell phone. Exactly. And we see snippets of video here, there. We're hopeful that the videos on the deputy will provide a context for the conversation as well to supplement the other pieces of video that are out there. So I think at the end of the day, it's a good thing for everybody. We want to be in a position here at LASD where we're learning from the mistakes and the investments of other departments so that we're not spending money that we could have spent better to have a better product that's more durable, that's in a place on the body where you can see the interaction, because putting it right on the chest is one option, putting it on a collar is another, on an eyeglass is another. They all have pros and cons to them. So we're trying to figure out what is best and how do we best tell the story about what happened in that interaction. So we are working toward that. As far as the issue of respect, that's the foundation. Everything has to be built on respect, and every deputy in the station can be A+, and if one person comes along and destroys that, it destroys it for everybody. So we're very well aware. As you heard the captain speak earlier, he takes it very, very seriously, the conduct of every deputy that works at this station. Each deputy, each employee is an ambassador for the whole organization, and we're all judged by the actions of one. And so we take that very seriously. We have to hold each other accountable to do that.
So
but at the end of the day,
why aren't they exposing the ones that are murdering people?
at the end of the day, we work for you. So thank you, sir.
Why should we listen to this shit? This is a bunch of bullshit.
Hello. Good afternoon.
Afternoon, sir.
Look, you used 3 words a while ago that I focus on. Get to know. Like the young lady said about training in Compton. We don't need trainees here, and if somebody tell me we don't have trainees in Compton, it's a perception. there are a lot of, all people, well, for instance, a couple of months ago, I knew Captain McCrae. I could talk with him. Overnight, we had a new captain. So, I mean, where is this train coming from? We don't need, I had a neighbor had his house burglarized. He said, up drive the sheriff's car with 3 rookies in it, and they got out, they were scared. They were more scared than he was. So what I'm saying, we need respect in the city. I've been here since August of 1960. I'm not a rookie. I've seen all the things there is to be seen here in Compton. But we're tired of incidents like the young people back there are talking about. That's not necessary. So do me a favor. You new on the job, take a survey and see what kind of transfer you got in the sheriff department in Compton.
Yeah.
And you'll be amazed.
Okay, I will do that, sir, and I appreciate what you're saying. Community policing, the concept is based on the public getting to know the police and the police getting to know the public. We do that better by stability over time. The reality of running a large organization is that as you promote, as people retire, you have to backfill those positions, which creates that turnover. Compton is a sought-after station, so there are people in line to come here, which is a benefit, I think, to the community. Because once they get here, they're likely to be here for a period of time. But there will always be that, unfortunately, the transferring in, the transferring out, because people do promote and people do retire, and we have to fill behind them.
You got the mic, well, I want to talk about transparency. I had an incident, and I tell people all the time about Compton and Compton sheriffs. I think you guys are corrupted, like, just straight up, and I think I even was afraid to even speak because I think I'll be killed by one of you guys. When we talk about transparency, I got put over one time, I don't know the officer's name or whatever, but he said, you give me what you want, and I give me what I want, I give you what you want. He was talking about my car, and he wanted me to exchange like a gun. How can I have a gun? And this happens all the time. So I'm speaking out against it because I'm a youth in here in Compton. I was raised in Compton. This is happening all the time. So what are you talking about? We keep ties on our officers. No, you don't. No, you. This is my first time ever seeing you in the community. You. I'm talking to you. So I'm just upset about it, and I know that we have to go about it. And I heard you say we don't want to do the Ferguson thing, but the youth here are tired of this. And the youth is slick smiles, like how the older generation looks down on the younger generation. We are the next you. We're the next you. We're the next you. So respect us for that. We come up here, give us more things. Don't build another Walmart. Build a center where we can go do music. You know, Compton likes music. Make it for us.
And stop killing people.
The whole thing is that we hold ourselves accountable for what we do in our community and making sure our community is safe against one another. You got to hold yourself accountable. The crime rate is down, and you know that. So please stop it. You know what I mean? And if something happens, then you know what happened. I'm just telling the truth.
My name is Molly Bill, and I'm straight out of Compton. And I've stood up for a couple of reasons. First of all, in days